Okay, so these are my fish. Fred, Freddie, Frederick, Frank, other Fred, Felipe. Yeah, that's all of them. Anyways, so these guys are doing really good. Their water stays super clean, though I rarely ever change it just because of evaporation. I just keep adding more clean water and testing the parameters, and their water hardness is super good. And yeah, no, their pH level stays fairly balanced for the most part in such a small body of water, which is phenomenal. And then, there's the whole ammonia and nitrate levels, which are almost always fantastic because I have this crazy filter. This thing is the turtle tank filter, I think it's what it's called. Oh gosh, what the heck is this thing called? The Zoomed? Yeah, it's a Zoomed turtle filter. It's meant for external sort of like, I'm not sure what you call them, the partial water feature style aquariums. Vivarium, that's what it's called. It's like a terrarium slash water feature sort of set up inside of a tank. It's called a vivarium or a paludarium or something of that nature. Anyways, so that's what these tanks are for. They're meant for turtles and aquatic life that have, moving water features outside of their tank. But it works excellent as a fish tank where you're using a unique vessel. And then, of course, their wastewater, which goes through the porcelain media, the charcoal filter, and then the solid substrate foam filter. It's got a lot of bacteria and stuff that help build up in there, break down the nitrites into nitrates or nitrates into nitrites. I can never remember. And it pumps all that fertilizer up into the poo lettuce, or as my daughter calls it, poo lettuce. But yeah, the water that comes out of there is fairly clean. I mean, no solids really make it into the system. And then, of course, the substrate that the plants are growing in is very porous, so bacteria and whatnot can really build up inside of all the little microscopic caves inside the material and help break down the nitrates and the nitrites into nitrates or traits into trites. Again, can never remember. But the lettuce is doing really good. It's at, I don't know, maybe like 3.5 to 4.5 inches, depending on variety. There's a lot of iceberg in here, but then there's a couple of just random other types of lettuce being outgrown and outshadowed in the background. That'll probably not make it very big, but I just wanted to show you guys the root system, which is one of the main reasons I use the clear container, because the water's always flowing and there isn't really an opportunity for algae to build up. But yeah, I wanted to be able to see what the root structure looked like inside of the media. But yeah, so that's it. And so I'm going to have to actually put some kind of filter material on my outflow, because the root system, the little stragglers keep ending up hanging down my outflow pipe. I don't know if we can see any right now. I just cleaned it out not too long ago, but there's a couple of straggling roots that are working their way to the outflow, which is fine. As long as it doesn't get clogged up and overflow and flood my kitchen, I'll be happy. So I have to make sure that I stay on top of that. But yeah, the lettuce is doing really, really good. And I don't see any decay. I don't see any disease. I don't see any death. I don't see any yellowing. There doesn't seem to be any major deficiencies. So, these plants are doing an absolutely phenomenal job at taking the ammonia in forms of nitrate and nitrites out of my water. And then the water that's, flowing back into my system, now oxygenated and, really, really rich in micronutrients and mineralization from the substrate media, is just keeping the fish super happy. And then through the process of evaporation from the media bed itself, because it's kind of warm up there. The water level gets low. I top it up with nice fresh water, and then I do a quick test. I do take the water out sometimes manually if I feel like the water hardness is getting a little bit too hard, or the pH balance is getting a little bit off. But then I just take that same water and end up feeding it to my plants. So and they are very happy with it. Even these guys. So this thing is kind of cool. I got these. I can't remember where I got them. I think I bought them on Facebook Marketplace. They're like mushroom shaped terrariums. But I got a charcoal layer and then a gravel layer, really thick charcoal layer, gravel layer, and then tropical media mix. And I watered it once, months ago, and you know, it's just got a loose lid, but the way the lid is shaped with the downward facing lip, very little humidity escapes out of this crazy little dome contraption. And the things have been growing in here for like ever, and I haven't watered it since I put them in, and they are absolutely just super, super happy plants. So, you know, now that I've said something, I've probably jinxed it, but it was just crushed some of the leaves by accident, and that'll make it really unhappy. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my fish are getting absolutely ginormous. So, I mean, I'm not overfeeding them, and they are incredibly active. But as far as tetras go, there are 2 in here that are just like, they look like they're on steroids, to be honest with you, but it's totally fine. Some of them are known to get about the size that they are getting. This guy, whoo, boy, yeah, those 2. And so those are the females. They lay a lot of eggs, but, you know, then they are, you know, horrible cannibals and they eat their own eggs. So hopefully one of these days I get a baby fish, but which is where some of them actually came from. They just laid eggs and then I guess missed a few on the buffet table when they were eating their own small children. And so I ended up getting 2 more fish. So now I've got a total of 6 Freds in here. And yeah, so I like to change up their names every once in a while. Fred and Frederick and Patricia and yeah, I don't know. So anyways, that was an update on my hydroponic lettuce and its excellent pump and cool Freds. So thanks for watching. If you guys like the video, please like the video. And if you really like the video, then please subscribe and share and maybe leave a comment if you have any suggestions about future videos. Thanks very much.